Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Wednesday morning. It's now the 10th day of September, 2025, and this is the morning briefing. From the home weather office, it is another cloudy morning, and as I showed you yesterday, we can now show you exclusively. You'll only see this on the Mark Finan YouTube weather page. Taking a page out of my old television years. This is exclusive. Anyway, this is the way it looks out the window of my office. So yeah, you can see we kind of have a flat overcast out there. It's not rainy. And as you can see, the trees aren't moving. So we have light winds. We have cloud cover in the area, but nothing in the way of rain. Let's show you the top-down view. So this is really interesting. We have this low spinning around here. You can see the motion here. See how the clouds are going this way, and then they're dropping down this way. Nice little curl, little comma shape here in the clouds. And then down here, there's a bit of marine layer that got pushed inland, or just low clouds anyway. And then we also have quite a bit of scattered cloud cover here to the north. We will see a bit more in the way of shower activity develop again during the day today. I want to show you a little bit farther down to the south. Still dealing with the Garnet fire. It wasn't quite as active yesterday, but continues to pour smoke out into the valleys that are east along Highway 395 and then farther down to the south. You can see the smoke just kind of stacked up there in the morning. Right now, it looks like the smoke is going to be staying out of the Tahoe Basin and south of Alpine County, which is good news. But once you get south of, let's say south of Mono Lake and even around Mono Lake, you'll be seeing some of that smoke. Also interesting here, you can see this is a low deck of clouds, and then above it, let me move that down a little bit better so you can see. So this is a low deck of clouds here, and then above it, you can see how this is higher cloud cover because you can see the shadow here. That's that shadow. So this low deck of clouds really isn't going anywhere. And that's kind of what I see out of the window for the home weather office. And then you see the higher clouds going by above it because it casts a shadow on the clouds down below. Nice and clear on the east side of the Sierra. And then we'll just take a closer look at that low spinning around here. It is a beauty. All right, I'm going to get more to the showers possibility in just a second. First, I want to talk about something that has been making a lot of headlines in my weather feed. I obviously, a lot of weather stuff pops up in my social media feeds. So let's take a look at this. This is from the National Hurricane Center. A lot of people are making a big deal out of this. Tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. This is from the National Hurricane Center, and this is what they said today. So why is that a big deal? Well, especially on a day like today, that may make headlines because of this graphic. This is also from the Hurricane Center. So this is showing the season and when this is storms per day per 100 years, and this is from 44 to 2020. And so there is a peak right here, a rather well-defined peak. And when is that peak? September 10th. So this is where we are in the hurricane season, and right now they say nothing is expected in the next 7 days. So a lot of people are making a big deal out of this, saying, something's wrong in the Atlantic. And I will just say, if you look at this, okay, that's the peak. Well, look at the rest of the season you have to go through. And with any hurricane season, it really just depends on one storm. You can get a very quiet in terms of the number of storms kind of season, and, kind of like this one. But all it takes is a Cat 4 or Cat 5 to go into Florida, and all of a sudden it's an awful hurricane season. So yeah, a lot of people are making a big deal out of the fact that we don't have anything going on in the Atlantic right now. And yeah, this is the peak time of the year. Well, this reminds me of, let's take a football analogy. I remember a time when a team was down 28-3 in the Super Bowl. I'll just leave it at that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's still a lot of season to go. So if you see people making a big deal out of the fact that, we're at peak hurricane season, there's nothing going on, there's still a long part of the season to go. It's only halftime, people. All right, so here's that little low that I showed you on the satellite. and it kind of sticks around. This will produce some shower activity over the next couple of days that I'll show you here in a second, especially today, and maybe even some thunderstorms. The flow turns a bit more north, but not howling north wind that we're worried about as we head into Friday and the weekend. And with a weak little ridge, the weekend looks nice. And then we will see a return to some cooler weather, and once again, maybe some scattered showers as we get into next week. Let me just zip this down a little bit. This is next Tuesday, Wednesday, so another cool down. So I'm going to go out on a limb this morning. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to go out on a limb this morning, because what the old analogy, the old saying in weather is, if you go out on a limb, somebody's sure to be behind you with a saw cutting off that limb. Anyway, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Sacramento is not going to see 100 degrees again for the rest of this year. Said it. Here on September 10th, said it. We're not going to do it again the rest of this year. The latest Sacramento has ever seen a 100-degree day is October 10th, so a month from now. Right now, I just don't see us getting to 100 degrees. This video may not age very well, but I'm going to say it right now. We're done to the hundreds. All right, let's press on. So this pattern looks good getting into next week. So let's focus a little bit more short term. Where are we going to see showers today? Let me make sure you can see all of that. Okay, I'm going to scoot this up just a little bit to get the slider. All right. As we head into this afternoon, showers and thunderstorms pop up. This is this afternoon around 3 o'clock. So you have showers into Tehama County, parts of Plumas and Lassen County, as well as well down to the south. We saw some thunderstorms yesterday in Lake County. This model brings them all the way down into Napa County as well. Interesting. And maybe even drifting into the western part of Yolo County. I think from Yolo County, you'll certainly be able to see these. And, around the Winters area, and then all the way up toward Willows and Woodland, you'll be able to, all those cities that begin with W, you'll be able to see these thunderheads. This is now up to 6 o'clock this evening. So this could look really interesting from the valley. Thunderheads to the west. Usually we talk about the ones that are going on in the Sierra. Today we're going to be talking about these on the Coast Range. Now, there were a couple yesterday, but we did not see any additional fires started yesterday. And let's take a look at the lightning prediction from, this is that same model. And as you can see, these areas that are shaded in gray, and this is at around 6 o'clock this evening, these show areas where we would see lightning. Now, again, this isn't a ton of lightning, but it's, California lightning, where you do see, let's see as I scroll over this, 0.07 flashes per square kilometer per 5 minutes. Yeah, if I scroll way down here to the scale, you see we're way down here on the scale. So the scale goes up to, 12, we're less than 1. But this is just showing you where we could see some lightning. So another day to dodge, if you will, in terms of trying to get through another day without additional fires started. But yeah, focus today on northern Napa, Lake County certainly, and maybe even western Yolo County and western Colusa County. All of those dissipate once the sun goes down. And then during the day on Thursday, this is Thursday afternoon, showers confined to the crest of the Sierra, the east side, maybe even to areas like Portola as well as Tahoe. And that would also be producing some lightning. And then to Friday, everything is nice and quiet. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. Should be an interesting afternoon with those thunderstorms developing over the Coast Range. We'll have to keep an eye on that and just hope we don't get any additional fires started. Doesn't look like there'll be much wind either today or for the next few days. So that's good, so that if a fire starts, it shouldn't be raging. And all in all, other than the Garnet fire, things are relatively quiet fire-wise, so that if you do get a start, CAL FIRE should have a lot of manpower to be able to deploy to one of those fires if we do get one started. So that's the one thing we got to just kind of keep an eye on today. A special note, going to be on a bit of a hiatus, especially today, tomorrow and Friday. I may be able to do updates next week. We'll see. So I'll be on the road and might be able to do updates from the road, might not be able to do updates from the road. We'll see. So if you don't hear from me for a little while, that's why. But there will not be an update tomorrow and likely not an update on Friday. So that's everything I have for you on this Wednesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.